Hi everyone, this is Jane Celia Hatch, targeted shaman, shaman for our paradise earth, psychic, writer, MK Ultra survivor. I've been meaning to do a video about Suzanne Somers, and you probably know Suzanne Somers was an American actress. She was a writer. She wrote 25 books. She was an advocate for natural healing and alternative healing way back before a lot of us. She was also, and I didn't know this until after she died, she was a real forerunner and iconoclastic person in regards to children of alcoholics, and she was on the Department of Human Services. She got a public service award. So, but my interest, I've always liked her. I was a little bit younger than her. She was 76 when she died. I mean, I'm over a decade earlier, younger, but she was 76 when she died. I think it was a week ago. It was a day before her birthday. She died. She would have been 77 the next day. She died at 76. I think it was October 15th, and her birthday, I believe, was October 16th. She would have been 77. So in general, I watched her in the 70s. She had a really popular and famous show called Three's Company. And I'm going to show a few videos, a few pictures. I've been meaning to do this, but I've been busy. I also have a ton of research on this book I'm trying to finish about Princess Diana, and everything that was going on in England when she died is still going on. The royal family, the corruption in the police force, and on and on and on. So I have a ton of research. So I couldn't quite fit it in, and this isn't exactly the way I'd like it to be. But when I get a hit to do something, I really want to do it. I do have a tendency to focus on women, especially women whistleblowers, which is what I was. If you don't know my history, I was a journalist and a whistleblower, and I became a targeted individual as a result of my whistleblowing as a journalist in Maine. And I believe the company Bath Iron Works, who is aligned with Raytheon and the US military, put me on the targeting list. So I'm interested in other people I'm always interested in other people that are whistleblowers, and I have a tendency to be even more interested in women. And so Suzanne Somers was a whistleblower. She was blowing the whistle on big pharma and the cancer causing, let's see, so this video doesn't get taken down. The cancer causing system in our country or globally that's supposed to be curing it, but is probably causing a lot more than it's curing. So she was a whistleblower, and she testified in one of her videos that she believes she was poisoned. It was a couple of decades ago. She's written 25 books on natural healing and beauty and health, but she was at a conference, and the whole hotel room was filled with big pharma executives, and she was poisoned, she believes. And she actually went to a doctor who did a test for her on her hair, and he did find that there was a poison in her system, and she just said, I was too strong, my body was too strong, they couldn't take me out. So when she died, they said she died of a breast cancer that she had around 2001. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she healed herself naturally, and she lived a very vibrant. She was a multi-millionaire. She did the Thigh Master. If you may or may not remember that, you have to be like in your 50s or above. She made millions on that. She wrote 25 books. So she had a lot of influence, and she was not particularly happy about the way Big Pharma was treating women and cancer. And so she talked about it a lot. So there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that they did try to poison her, because if you've been down the number of rabbit holes that I've been down and the people I know who have been taken out and assassinated. You know, if you went against the protocol of the last 2 years, everybody knows what that is. You were demonized, you were demonetized. You know, I had many YouTubes taken down. I mean, I'm so shadow banned anyway. I mean, I think I've had 183 subscribers for 5 years, so I'm completely shadow banned. But I'm still doing it because I like doing it. Um, you know, I'm alone writing a lot, so it just gives me a chance to kind of communicate. But that was one thing that stood out for me when I learned that, and I wonder now what actually did happen to her. They say, you know, everyone's saying, oh, she got cancer back, she got cancer back. Even her family's saying that. I just still wonder because as it worked out, you know, it made, I think, Big Pharma very happy in the medical that they could say she died of cancer. You know, nothing she said meant anything. She was a conspiracy theorist. She was an influencer. So now we get to say it. You know, we can say it never worked. She struggled for 20 years. She didn't really struggle. She was living a extremely, like I said, vibrant life. So I'm just going to show a couple of quick videos about her. Not even just videos, just a little bit of information. I don't want this to be too long, but I just feel like not indebted to her, but I want to say maybe what I think is the truth about what happened to her, uh, so that you know what they're doing now is everything you see about Suzanne Somers. It's now not about her health, you know, and her 25 books and how she lived an incredibly wonderful life. She had a husband for over 50, I think up to 50 years, Alan, and she had children and grandchildren, and she had this beautiful home in the mountains. And she just, again, a millionaire, but that wasn't as important as she just had this vibrant, beautiful love life filled with love. But now they're all saying, oh, you know, it really didn't work. Nothing she said really worked. Because look, after all, she died from cancer. It's just too convenient, um, in my estimation, that would be exactly what Big Pharma, the medical, all the people would want to say, because um, cancer is big, big business. And you know, it just be very convenient if for them and for their profits if she did that. Now, her eyes looked a little funny to me in one of her last interviews, so there was something wrong. I'm not sure what it was. And you're not going to see this video because I couldn't find it again. But she was very clear that she felt the doctor that had done, no, I think I do have this, the doctor that took her hair sample, because if you're a targeted individual, it's very hard to get a doctor to do anything. You know, they won't go against as far as checking for Havana syndrome or poisoning or anything. But she did, Nick Gonzalez, I think his name was, I'll have to double check that, who did do a hair test for her, did find this poison. He was soon killed shortly thereafter. And she says she believes he was killed because he aligned with her. And I hear that constantly. There was I think it was a decade or so ago, all these health practitioners were being eliminated. They were just disappearing one after another because, I mean, they wanted to clear the path for, you know, what we went through the last 2 years. They don't want people to think there's alternatives. So I will just I think I've gotten a lot across. I want people to know she lived a vibrant life. Her life wasn't just about dying of cancer. And again, I'm not sure she did. She might have been forced to say that. Her family could have been forced to say that. She could have, it's possible. It's possible she was killed with directed energy weapons, or like she says her doctor was, because she talked to a CIA agent, and that video is out there somewhere, and she asked him, can they kill you? And he goes, yeah, we can kill you, anyone at any time of a heart attack. And so she feels like this Nick, her doctor who gave her the hair test that found was killed And so it's funny that she brought that up in her last video. It was almost like a hint. So I don't know. Her eyes did look funny. Something I doubt very much she took the, the state injectable. I can't imagine she would take that. So I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I'm suspicious of her death because of how powerful these medical and big pharma is, and because they tried to kill her once. That's very clear. She made that very clear. They tried to kill her once, and it was verified by a doctor. So let's see. Where is sharing? Sharing, share. Okay, share screen. Okay. Select a window. Okay, so I'm just gonna play like just a couple of things from people. This is a short overview of her life. It's by Ed Collects. And it looks like a Instagram.
On October 16th, 1946, in San Bruno, California. She's known for being an actress, singer, author, businesswoman, and health spokesperson. She had many small parts on TV before joining the cast of Three's Company, which debuted in 1977. She played the lovable, ditzy blonde Chrissy Snow. During season 5 of Three's Company, she demanded a huge pay increase. The show refused and eventually fired her.
Oh, yeah,
she sued them for $2 million.
I forgot to mention, this is another huge part of her life. Is she was the biggest star in America, female star in the, I think it was 70s, in Three's Company. And she had a 6-year contract. And when it was up to be renewed, she simply asked to get paid the same amount that her male co-star, Jack Ritter, was getting paid. And they refused, and they fired her, and they attempted to ruin her reputation. And that was the end of that. They made it clear to her, and I think they said to her, or she had heard it through the grapevine, they said, we got to make sure no other woman ever asks for equal pay, because if they do, we'll be in trouble, and we're going to make an example out of her.
And was awarded $30,000. She had a show in Las Vegas for a few years. She appeared in Playboy twice. She was a spokesperson for the Thigh Master. Who can forget that? She wrote a lot of health and wellness books. During the 90s, she appeared in 2 TV shows called She's the Sheriff and Step by Step. She had a one-woman show on Broadway in 2005. She continued making appearances on TV, including her own talk show. She had over 500 products with her name on them. She was married twice and had 1 child. She had dyslexia. She battled skin cancer when she was in her 30s. She was initially diagnosed with breast cancer in 2001. She died in October of 2023 from the disease. She was 76 years old. Suzanne Somers was.
So that's sort of an overview of her early life. And yes, she was 18 and she got pregnant. So she was a single mom in LA, being a model. And so she had a really tough, and her father was an abusive alcoholic.
Please turn on your notification.
So this one is the one where she said she was poisoned. And I think it begins at 10:56. And this is, I believe, one of the last, and this is by Corinne Alorde. I'm taking a clip from her. This is when she tells us that wait a sec. This is the one. No, this is another one. Let me see.
Until stem cell therapy to regrow her lost breasts, showcasing her fearless spirit in the face of adversity. According to the Desert Sun, Summer's most difficult hurdle to overcome was her suspicion, detailed in her book, that she was poisoned at a hotel full of pharmaceutical salespeople attending a November 2008 convention. She said Desert Regional Medical Center diagnosed her with a fungus known as valley fever, but Summers sent her test results to several alternative doctors. Dr. Nick Gonzalez of New York conducted a radionics test on a strand of her hair and found traces of a substance used in surgeries called succinylcholine. ABC did a special on succinylcholine and called it the assassin's perfect drug because it dissipates in the body, Summers said. Only place it remains would be in the hair, which is how he found it. I think they tried to take me out, and my body was too strong because of the way I take care of myself. But what they did get was my spirit. This depression came on me in a way that I didn't even realize it was happening. I would just cry for no reason. I couldn't find my joy. I questioned my whole life. I questioned our relationship. I never had that happen to me. End quote. Gonzalez died of a heart attack. The doctor that performed the test on her and found the substance. He died in a heart attack in 2015, and online conspiracy theorists suspected that he was taken out as part of a movement against alternative medicine. And Summers wouldn't address that, but said, I do think what happened to Nick is tragic, end quote. But Fade.
So yeah, that did tell the story of where it happened, and that she had sent, the regular doctors just told her something completely different, said it was a fungus, but she sent it to other people, and they came up with, yes, there was poison in her system. And in 2015, as you just heard, he died, and she believed that he was taken out. And it just happens so much. It's not a conspiracy. The conspiracy theorist is a term that the CIA in America came out with after John F. Kennedy was killed to describe anybody that goes against the mainstream narrative. I showed that one. Oh, this is interesting. This is her books. So she had 25 books, which I don't know how she did it, but yeah. I think any one of these books probably made her $1 million. So, but she was still working till the day before she died. She was, she has natural cosmetics, and she was working and promoting them. So she was also very much into bioidentical hormone replacement. And she felt that was sort of the fountain of youth. And these are some of her books. One of her first was Keeping Secrets, which I'd love to read. It was really about her childhood and her father as an alcoholic, which is why she got so involved in helping to bring about awareness of children of alcoholics. So I thought that was interesting. 25 books. I don't know if I'm showing them all here, but and the Thigh Master, that was huge. It was this funny little machine that everybody got. And I remember the interviewer saying, how much money did you make on that? She says, I don't know. I stopped counting after $10 million. So this again is this is right before she died. It might have been the day or 2 days before. Now, compared to other 76 shows, she looks really good, even the day before she died. But you can tell there's something wrong. There's something in her eyes that shows you. So I think I picked this out because she's also talking about the doctor, Nick Gonzalez.
And that eats the debris. Debris is cancer or toxins. And I've always believed that he was murdered, but I have no way to prove that. But he was supposed to, present 126 case studies to the medical board in New York of stage 4 cancer patients, including pancreatic.
You see her eyes, she looks ill. That's not just fatigue. She apparently had an extraordinary ability to withstand pain because she also had a broken neck and a broken back at one point. And, they called her tough Irish stock. She just could go through anything. By the look in her eyes, she looks like she's in pain. I don't know about this whole cancer thing. It just seemed to come out of nowhere. But she's sick. There's something wrong.
Whom had been alive 10 years or longer. And
by the way, those books have been published.
My books.
No, his books.
His books, yeah.
With those 120 people.
Yes, right. And when I interviewed him, and then I interviewed his patients, they were telling me these miraculous things. And so it makes sense, doesn't it? Detox the body, i.e. coffee enemas, and then
Pancreatic.
clean it out with the pancreatic
But you know,
enzymes.
he also, for both of us, he delves into our past, our family past.
Mhm.
This is Swaz
and
Media.
created diets that were consistent.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, consistent.
Starting with your
Right, exactly.
early cellular
I'm
life.
assuming this
You know,
man
on the
in the
islands,
corner
it's
is
gonna be a
Swaz.
plant-based diet.
I don't know, but he's
It's gonna be
generally
meat,
looks
fat,
empathetic.
and fish.
Right. Anyway,
But I'm from LA.
anyway, I talked to Nick Gonzalez 3 hours before he died, and he was asking me about my gut because he knew the connection point with the gut and poor health. And then I found out he was dead. He went into the next room and had a massive heart attack. So at the funeral, his widow said to me, "Did you know he got an anonymous call?" And I said, "I did not." The caller said, "You're going to be murdered. You won't know where it's coming from, and it will look like a heart attack." Well, that's what happened to him. So I think he had a predictable walk from his office to his home every day. And if you wanted to follow him around, so anyway, you could track his movement. So anyway, his widow said to me, the anonymous caller also said he should talk to Mike Baker. Do you know Mike Baker? I said, I don't, but I know that he used to be with the CIA and now has a company called Diligence Inc. So I called Mike Baker. Do you know Nick Gonzalez? No. Do you know you were mentioned in this anonymous phone call? No. I said, well, you were with the CIA. Does the CIA have a way of creating a heart attack in someone?
Now, I have to interject.
Yeah.
We're not implying that the CIA had anything to do with
No.
this, okay?
No, not at
Just
all.
that what you're doing is learning about what tools are available.
Yeah.
No.
Which obviously are with other people other than the CIA.
Right. Anyway, I said, does the CIA have a way of inducing a heart attack in someone? He said, yeah, I can walk by you and hit your arm like that, and 3 hours later, you'll have a heart attack. So somebody went after him. It was so sad funeral, everything. I think of him, don't you, Alan? I think of him every day.
Welcome back.
So that is her testimony just days, I think that was days before her death. And I find it very interesting that, you know, she mentioned that it was almost, you know, clearly she had to, she couldn't say what she really felt. You know, she was probably always trying, you know, having to cover up how she felt about these things or what she really believed, because, you know, she was like, no, you'd never say that. So that's about it. I just wanted to, and all my subjects are interrelated. I don't do anything just because they're, you know, a movie star or someone, you know, popular, but because they are popular, people will tend to watch it. And if they watch it, they may someday start to connect the dots that, you know, what happened the last 2 years, which I perceive as a huge psychological operation, to put it nicely, which was helped a lot by the Mockingbird Media, which is a CIA program, which means basically you mock, you repeat everything that's said, no matter if it's the truth or not. They're all interwoven. MK Ultra, Big Pharma, Suzanne's death, Diana's death, Princess Diana, and on and on. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that you share in your own social media, maybe your own research or this video, it's just sad that, if you Google Suzanne Somers, you'll just conspiracy theorist and on and on and on and on. That's what they want her legacy to be. Based on what you just saw and what I just saw, I think it wasn't as clear cut as she died of breast cancer. I just don't. And I think she was trying to tell us that in her last video. So lots of love. Keep digging and keep researching and do your own videos and keep sharing. And I hope we as humans reclaim the earth, because it's been invaded by people not so much like us. Okay, lots of love. Oh, please see below for my website. If you were interested in the long distance energy healing or one of my books, I'll give you my email. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.